Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We'll get to the JRC here in a moment. First, brief disclaimer. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign, you will see pertinent links right there in the description box. Should you like to go ahead and do a deep dive, you're definitely able to go ahead and do so. Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. I do use profanity. And when we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. So if you have children that are 16 and under that watch the channel, parental supervision very much advised. Where we left off, let's see what Miss Whitney has to say. It says, I would like to see more autism research focusing on how to improve the quality of life of autistics, specifically on how to improve longevity outcomes. Go off, Whitney, because in regards to different types of treatment programs, we do have some data in regards of longevity in regards to success rates, but not nearly as much as I would like to see. So I do agree there. It would be interesting to study a cohort of autistics who have lived long lives, 70s, 80s, and beyond, and attempt to identify what factors have contributed to their living longer than the tragically short average lifespan of autistics. Here's the thing, though, as far as our improved capability of being able to recognize autistics, I hate to say it, but it might be a minute before we get into those longevity studies, in particular why some live longer than the majority of the rest of us. I think a lot of it may have to do, personal opinion, I am not a doctor nor an expert, is stress and anxiety levels. Because they're already heightened in us from birth, and then we're growing up in a world not built for us. I think that may have a lot to do with it. Just saying. Now, I'm not saying that those who live to that age haven't had to deal with that, but as of right now, we just don't have a large enough known group of individuals within that age range that have the autism diagnosis. But once we do, I would definitely like to see that. This information could then be used to inform policy practice and to educate communities and individuals. I'm not at all interested in seeing any research or funding allocated towards such silliness as finding a cure or towards toxic therapy procedures. Same. The cure research has been eating up all of the money for over the last 40, possibly even 50 years. Meanwhile, you have parents and families out there drowning, trying to cover all the bills for the different services that their child may need. Autism Speaks alone brings in billions every year. I have yet to hear a single story where they stepped in with that funding to assist a family that was drowning in medical debt. So my question would first be, for all the billions of dollars that have already been pushed towards the concept of a cure, how has that money been spent? What results has it produced? Okay? And then think about how much funding the services that actually assist the autistics already here, how much money is in that? How much money is being put towards research in regards to the longevity of successful outcomes through things like person-centered planning? What about the kids who do need help with those direct care staff? Because that's not cheap, folks. And these corporations are bringing in billions and billions every year. Let me tell you something about families. They don't give a shit about billions going towards a cure when they are drowning in medical debt up to their eyeballs and may have to end up leaving their home because they can't afford both it and their kids' medical bills. How about that? How about more money to help those struggling families and less towards a so-called cure that, as far as I know, has not at this point produced any major results that could justify the billions and billions of dollars going down the drain every year for a cure that has never manifested. Does that sound fair to you? Why are these families drowning when there's obviously some money there that could help them? What do they care about a cure when they need help now? Would you care? But it will help other children, isn't that important? Yes, but it's also important to support the kids that are here now. And you spending billions of dollars towards a cure that is probably never going to manifest. Wasted when you have families that are drowning. You're fiddling while Rome is burning. Okay? That is what's happening. So, definitely agree with Whitney there. And don't even get me started on the toxic therapy procedures like the JRC, or we're going to be here for the next 2 to 3 years. I have all the receipts. All of them. Alright, let's see what Naomi has to say. It says, my hope is that there's more autistics and ADHD people who are able to co-create curriculum to best support neurodivergence in schools and moving forward in workforce/university. That's something we've been working out here in Missouri since the 2010s when we finally got our first major push towards it. We've definitely got a lot more now that are being included on these different committees and panels when it comes to special education, which I'm happy to see, but we do have an exceptionally long way to go. So, hard agree there. And I know we're cutting it short, but we're going to go ahead and close out on this one, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do tend to get removed from time to time, so you know you drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments, and make sure that you are still set up to receive notifications so you don't miss any new episodes of Down the Rabbit Hole or the Snake Oil Salesman series. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you all in a little bit. Bye-bye now.